Again, my good friend Nick Zuber here, turning a new song over for us. This one's Turnaround. Again, if you get a chance to see Nick here in Northeast Ohio, I would highly recommend you get out and see him. Very talented and incredible individual. So tonight we're going to be talking about career programming, career readiness programming. But before we get started, I wanted to share that this morning I had the opportunity to work at Kasicik's Winery, which is a locally owned and very impressive winery out in Harpersfield, Ohio. And Tony Kasicik, the owner, along with his wife, invited us out to pick grapes today because they're getting ready for the end of harvest. And I'll have to tell you, this is the first time I ever picked grapes. I've baled hay and other country things, but this was a great experience. And if you get a chance to go out and visit Tony there at Kasicik's, I would highly recommend it. Great wine, great atmosphere, great live music. Just a really down-to-earth place for those that are looking for a little getaway. And we all know in today's day and age, need to get away and relax and do some things outside of school. So I highly recommend that for all my teacher friends that are out there right now. Take a chance, go out and see Tony at Kasicik's Winery, which is right there on 534 in Geneva. So if you're heading off 90, head south. But tonight we are talking about career readiness. And I don't like saying college and career readiness because I think the long-term goal is to have everybody career ready, whether they are going to college to get career ready, or if they're coming right out of high school, or if they need to go to a trade school. There are very many different opportunities out there for kids. And I just always want to go by being ready. If the pandemic has taught us nothing more than we have to be ready for anything that's thrown at us, I think that this is a good example of what might have to be done to help schools get things going in the right direction again. And I do think schools can play a big role in this, in getting people back to work. But also, I think we have to prepare kids differently than we have in the past. So one of the examples I like to give is that with this pandemic, it's very possible that we had some kids that thought they were going to go off to college, and they prepared their whole life for that. And then when the pandemic hit, maybe there were some financial hardships that came across on a family, and that student can no longer go off to college. Are they ready to step into a work role right now at the age of 18 with a college education or with a high school education without going to college? Are they capable of handling that type of work from the time they leave high school until they get a chance to go to college and do that next step, the thing that they want to do? I have to say that if you're really worried about money or the other aspects of life, the benefits, there's money to be made in almost every field, and there's a way to make a living. Money is not the end all be all. And I think that when you start looking at some of the careers that people associate with a lesser person, which I totally disagree with, you're going to find that there's great ways to make living out there and be happy and be satisfied with who you are and what you do. So I want people to be ready. And with that being said, I think that the community partners that you can gain in a school are critical to this role. I was fortunate to have some great people in Twinsburg that helped with this type of programming, where we were able to get a group of business and community leaders to be part of us building the academy to help get kids get ready for life after high school. And so those community partners were not only speakers, but they also provided internships and opportunities for kids to do site visits. They provided what we called corporate curricular challenges, where they gave real life problems where kids had to then build some knowledge and then work at that problem to come up with solutions to that problem. And those types of things can be done at low cost, no cost throughout the entire school. And it doesn't have to be isolated to high school. It can go down into middle school. And one of the things that we try to do when we're building this program is to make sure that all kids can be represented. So we looked at everything that was out there. We looked at the idea of what jobs are there right out of high school, what jobs are there in the military, what jobs are there if you get a college degree or you go to a 2-year college or you do additional training with a corporation. Those are the types of things that we all need to focus on. Those and also the skills just to be able to be employed. I have found over my time working with students that even some of the best students didn't really know how to create a resume or how to interact with adults or how to sell themselves in an interview. So those types of things, we assume they know those things when they really don't. So as you're developing a program, you need those aspects also ingrained in the system. I found that some of the students that, some of my students that went off to Duke or went off to medical school, or ones that want to be an engineer at MIT, those kids struggle just as much as making a resume as any other kid. And so if some of our best students aren't getting the understanding of what it takes to get their picture, their idea of who they are out to owners, to business people, then what can we expect from the people that aren't involved and aren't being forced to do these things? Our program in Twinsburg was voluntary. And so these kids had a drive in them that they wanted to be involved. But we also know that there's a large percentage of kids that just they don't know that this is important. So they sort of avoid those things. It's that one extra thing that I don't need to do. So I'm not doing it. So how do we reach those kids? And we kept ours voluntary in Twinsburg. There is a benefit to be able to ingrain that into your curriculum. And that's what we try to do with the corporate curricular challenges. But whatever your program is, you have to make sure that all partners, community and in the school, the superintendent, and all the other people that are in the administration all buy in, as well as the teachers and the students. You cannot create this thing without the input of everybody that's involved. Uh, that's a sure way to make sure it doesn't happen. And it's a sure way to make sure that it's a short term problem, a short term fix for a problem. So we have to make sure that whatever program you install into your schools, it is something that is a group effort, a collaborative effort between everybody in the community and in the school. So, with that being said, um, every school will have a unique perspective because of who they are, what business and industry they have in their community, what the teachers and administration and the schools are willing and able to do. And also, anytime you have budgets or transportation issues, those all have to be considered. And when you use the idea of the solution centered mindset that I've brought up many, many times now, the solution is you need to have this college prep program, or you need to have this career ready program, depending again what this data tells you about your kids, um, and how you sell it to your parents. It could be that you're getting them college ready. If you have 100% of your kids going off to college, you can say you're college ready, but also getting career ready. But if you have a majority of your population that's really, they don't know, and we know that the college graduation rate is, mid to upper 50%, those numbers make it so that we have to prepare kids to be ready to work. And what that means looks different in every group, every community. So listen to your community, listen to the people in your building, listen to the ones that have been there their entire lives. Those are the people that can give you the best insight of what's happening. Talk to the business owners and find out what they're lacking when they interview people. I've heard horror stories about interviews of people coming in and the Daisy Dukes and tank tops for a job interview, and it makes you wonder, what kind of expectation do they really have about the workplace? So we have to start early on getting kids prepared with skills that they'll need. And you sometimes hear them referred to as soft skills. I just call them skills. You need them to be able to succeed. I want a kid to be able to communicate, not just face to face, but also in emails or on social media, if that's something that's big in your business. So we have to teach those skills that are so important to be able to move and get these kids ready for that workplace. One of my friends always said, you got to teach them to shake a good hand. So if that's something that the kids just don't know how to do, then that's something you have to address. I know that ties are going out, but I have another group, a nonprofit that actually, works with kids to tell them how to tie ties and, what goes behind that tie. It's obviously more than just the tie itself, but how to get ready to present yourself in a way that's professional. Those types of discussions that can be done within a curriculum will capture a large group, but also you have to find those programs, those opportunities for kids that get them excited about being there. And those are where the partners come in. Everybody knows that if you have somebody from the outside come in, the kids are more apt to listen to them about their experience. So one of the things, as I'm wrapping up my time, and I could talk about this for 30 to 40 minutes without any issue whatsoever. But one of the things I want to throw out there for people to consider is that because we're in unprecedented times when it comes to our workforce, I would encourage schools to find a way to work with their local community businesses that are struggling to find employees to work out some type of schedule where kids can be graded from the school on the work that they do for business people. This way, businesses can have a base of employees where they're training and getting them into the business and helping them be able to produce the product that they're looking to produce or serve the people they're trying to serve. And it solves the problem of not having enough qualified employees, knowing that we'll have training available for these kids and also the oversight of the school to help them have a job coach or a job manager and be able to be graded on this and earn pay at the same time. If a student can go to school for a half day and work a half day, morning or afternoon, or a school is able to allow the student to work during first shift and then take online courses in the evening to get their core and get them ready for whatever testing might come up. I think schools and businesses have to be flexible and be able to do those things and start thinking differently about how to solve this issue that we have about getting enough employees to do the jobs that we need to have done. We are struggling as a country, and if we keep doing the same thing the way we have been, it's not going to change. So we have to make sure that we're focused on how this could happen within your community. And obviously, if you need help with that, you know how to get a hold of me. Norm at normpotter.com, structuredcreativityconsulting.com. You can reach me that way. Um, and if you can't reach me that way, you can leave a comment. I see those also. I'm up to a big 8 subscribers right now. So I hope that you'll encourage more people to sign up. And if you do need help building a program, let me know, and I'll be happy to, offer some consultation to begin with, and then see if we can hook up and get some work done. So as always, be kind, be professional, and find solutions. And if you have career issues, let me know. Have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Trying to get back to what we had at the start, and I'm still stuck in a Nick Zuber, the Cacique's Winery. Make sure you visit